boys and girls. This video is for Wednesday, May 20th. Okay, so we're working on finishing up our reading response. Remember, you can choose any book, and we're going to do the third one down, and it says find a theme in the text. Okay, so a theme means a lesson or a message that you're learning. So let's say we were doing the book Flat Stanley, and there was, what message was in that book? Well, there's a couple things that happen. Like, first of all, remember Stanley's brother Arthur? He was jealous of Stanley because he was getting a lot of attention, right? So one thing you could say is don't be jealous about other people got attention. Try to be their friend, because then at the end, instead of Arthur and Stanley kind of competing against each other, they become friends, right? The other thing is Stanley felt bad because people were making fun of him because he was different. So there was a theme that you shouldn't make fun of people that are different from you. He was flat, and so at the beginning, everyone thought that was really cool, but then everyone started thinking he was weird, right? So that was a theme. So whatever book you're reading, there's probably something that you could learn from it. When we were reading The Magic Tree House, remember, there was the bully. You shouldn't bully people. But another thing we learned is that people can change, because remember, Jeb becomes friends with Jack at the end. So there's usually something you can learn from the story. So I want you to put something that you could learn from the story and the title. And remember, this could be the same book you've been reading or a different book. Now, before we get to our spelling, let me remind you that make sure you read for 15 minutes today along with doing your reading response, and have your parents write that down. Okay, so we are doing sort 33. Remember the ah and ah words on page 132. So we're going to try to write some words that have A, W, and some that have A-U in them. And you can try to make a game of it by using these words. So let's see, is there something that starts with S? Oh, saw. I can write saw. They do not have to be on this list, but they can. If you're having trouble, go ahead and write the words on this list, but it might be kind of fun to first not look at the list and just see what you can do. So I can put saw. Hey, I can put paw. Oh, I can put law. Well, there are a lot of words I can put. Choose beginning letters and ending letters to make words. Or you can put words like dr, draw. Maybe you can find some that have an ending sound too. What about if we put, let's see, what letter could we put at the beginning and the end? Everything I was saying ended in ah, but what if we take that N maybe and put it at the end? I see a lot of words like that. If you put the N here, on, we could put pawn, we could put lawn, we could put yawn. So you can put words in the letters in the beginning or the end of the word and try to fill these spaces. So for our handwriting, we're doing day 3, page 72. We're doing V. So for the V, when you do a printed V, a manuscript V, it's pointed. So this one's not really pointed, but it's not as wide as a U. So watch me make a U. Sorry, let me try that one more time. Let's make a U. A U is going to be thicker and it's going to be connected. The V is going to be thinner and it's not going to be connected to the next letter. All right, let's do a lowercase v. Lowercase v starts like an N, but bumps the line, connects. Starts like an N, bumps the line, and connects. So your letter that comes after a V, like in living, watch this, the letter that comes after the V is going to start in the middle. See how the I starts in the middle when you're connecting from a V, and then I'll dot my I's at the end of the word. So you are going to do your music history now. This is going to be for social studies today. You are going to get your book of composers. Now, we have done most of the pages in this book, but there are a couple we have not done. Okay, so first of all, the very last page for you should be Entry of the Gladiators by Julius Fusick. And that is our last May song. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to the website, you're going to click on Entry of the Gladiators, and you're going to listen to that song. As you listen, what comes to your mind? Does this make you happy, sad, excited, nervous, surprised? Well, I said it was a circus song, so I'm guessing most people who go to the circus, they're having fun, they're seeing a show, they're not going to be sad or nervous. They might be nervous because they're not sure what's going to happen, but usually that's a happy thing or exciting or surprising thing. So let's not put sad, but it's probably one of these. As you listen, color what you see. And then think about the weather that you imagine. What does it sound like? If this was an outdoor activity, would there be rainbows? Would there be a tornado, lightning? And how do you know that? Well, usually, if it sounds happy, it sounds exciting, things like that, it's going to be more pleasant weather. If it sounds like there's a lot of cymbals and crashing, that might sound like lightning. Or rain if it sounds really intense. So just listen to how you're feeling. There's not necessarily right or wrong answers here, but you're going to listen to the whole song and color this while you're listening. So then when you're done with that, you're going to look through your whole entire booklet, and you're going to go to the first page, and you're going to pick your favorite composer and your favorite piece. So you can use this list you have here. I have all the songs on the website if you want to review to see which one's your favorite. Look through your booklet, get an idea. Which is your favorite? There's no right or wrong answers. Which one do you like? So you're going to pick the composer that you like. I would have a really hard time figuring out which I like the best. Some of you might like Star Wars because you just really like that. I really like Hoedown from Rodeo and Aaron Copland. So let's say I was going to choose that. I would write the name of the song. I just copy it off my music list, write my composer. Now, this composer wrote during what period of music history? Okay, the periods of music history are dates. So on the website, I've given you a list of what the periods are. Now, you're going to have to go back in your booklet and see when this person lived. So let's say I go to my Bach page. Do you see how it says right there when he composed, and it says the period. He composed during the Baroque period. So you're going to go and look at your pictures and things. Aaron Copland, it says right here. 1900 to 1990, he was in the modern period. Okay, if you choose somebody that does not have a picture and it doesn't say what period he's from, then you might have to look up what year that person lived and then use the little chart on the website to find out what period that was. Okay, and then you're going to say the reason you like that piece. Well, why do I like Hoedown? I would write a reason. And if I could meet this composer, what would I ask them? Now, most of these composers are dead. I think John Williams is actually still alive, but I can't think of anybody else that's still alive besides John Williams. So if you met him someday, what would you ask him? Maybe you might ask him, why did you write that song? Or where were you when you wrote that song? What were you thinking when you wrote that song? What inspired you to write that song? That might be something you want to write. And then you're going to look through your whole little booklet and then just kind of finish it off. If you notice you didn't color something, finish off your booklet because you're going to have this nice booklet to kind of remember your composers. Now, when you come to Zoom tomorrow, we're going to be having our music contest. It is perfectly fine to bring your little booklet. It's perfectly fine to study this little booklet. It's perfectly fine to study the words online, the songs online. But I will give you this list on the test. Remember that test paper I gave you? You want to go ahead and bring that to the Zoom meeting tomorrow on Thursday because it's going to be really hard for you to write things down if you don't have the list in front of you. Okay, so for your math today, remember you're going to either do Freckle Math or Accelerated Math. Freckle Math is 15 minutes. Accelerated Math, it's at least one assignment. Now, this is our last week to do that, but you can do some of that during the summer. But this is the last week for prizes for Accelerated Math. So you might want to go and see if you have a test ready or a diagnostic test for Accelerated Math and do that if you have one because you might get a prize for that. All right, so for your optional recess activities, you do have this list of ideas of something you can do, but I'm going to tell you about a couple of things that Mrs. Moore has on the website. So if you look on Mrs. Moore's Encore page, her virtual field trip for this week is Slime in Space. That looks really cool. That one you can do anytime. So you might want to do the Slime in Space today. And then tomorrow we're having a live virtual field trip on Zoom, which I'll tell you about tomorrow. But there is going to be a Zoom code that's on the website. But that's tomorrow, Thursday at 2 o'clock. The slime in space field trip you can do anytime. It's just on the website, but that's the field trip for this week. So, I will see you tomorrow. Goodbye, boys and girls.